Hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome to the North London Derby, welcome to Arsenal against Tottenham, live watch along with me, Mark Goldbridge. I hope you're ready for a top of the Premier League clash as Arsenal look to extend their lead on everybody else. A fantastic opportunity with Man City losing against Newcastle last night. Obviously, we watched that together. Liverpool, if they were in a title race, which I don't think they were, then obviously they lost as well. So, look, this is a huge opportunity for Arsenal, as I said, and I expect them to take it. A lot of people in the chat saying it's going to be a set-piece battle. I hope it's not that dull, but obviously we've got to appreciate the fact that Arsenal do face a lot of teams that do look to sit deep and deal with that. No Gabriel for Arsenal, of course. Just a shout out for Villa as well. They've just gone up to 4th place tonight, beating Leeds away from home. Good result for them. 5 wins in their last 6, so they're doing very well at the moment, Aston Villa. After a poor start to the season, they've got themselves right in amongst it and in a good position to challenge for Champions League spots. Emery turning things around. But we're here to talk about Arsenal, of course. We are sponsored by Manscaped. They've got a fantastic 25% off. We'll go into detail in that in a moment, but effectively we are sponsored by Manscaped on the show. Use the code FOOTY and you'll get 25% off until December the 4th, and then it goes down to 15%. So 25% off until December the 4th by using the code FOOTY. Christmas is coming. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger, or get it as a present for your fella or your, well, maybe not a family member, but well, you know, whatever. Do what you do at the end of the day. The link is in the description for that. We'll give you more detail in a moment, but scan the QR code. 25% off exclusively on That's Football. That's got to be worth a like on the video. Let's get it up to 1,000 likes, everyone. Smash a like as always. But before we go into detail about Manscaped, the 25% discount is there, active right now. Let's take a look at the teams, because that's what it's all about, of course. And Arsenal had enforced into a few changes today. Let's have a look at Arsenal first. As you can see, very familiar Arsenal side in a sense. Let me just pause that so it stays on the screen as well. There we go. So yeah, Raya in goal, Saliba, Hincapié playing on the left-hand side. We've seen Mascara play, but he is more of a Saliba replacement, and Hincapié is the Gabriel replacement. So ready-made replacement. This is a club that bought a lot of players in the summer, and it's worked. Will it work today? Calafiori, Saliba and Timber. Eze, Zubimendi and Rice, Saka, Moreno and Trossard. Obviously, no Gyökeres back for Arsenal. So they are missing. I think against Sunderland, they struggled without Gyökeres. Obviously, Havertz has been out for a while now. They have got options on the bench. Nwaneri, Norgard, White, Mascara, Martinelli, Madueke, Lewis Skelly, Dauman, Kepa. But they don't really have anything up front. Is that an opportunity for Tottenham today? Because I think Arsenal did struggle against Sunderland, not having that focal point up front. And it's not always about goals. It's about the physicality, pushing the defence back, creating space for others. I don't think Moreno does that. Now on to Spurs. Now look, I can give you quite a lot of information on Spurs because we played Spurs last time out. I was not impressed with them at all. I was actually stunned that they were a minute away from beating us. And thankfully, De Ligt rescued us from that embarrassment. But I don't think Spurs were very good, but away from home, they've been really good. So maybe we'll see a different Spurs. Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven, Danzo, Spence, Adogi. So he's gone with 3 centre-backs in this game. Palhinha and Bentancur, Kudus, Odegaard, Richarlison. So yeah, slight tweak tactically by Thomas Frank, and they're certainly going to defend in numbers and look to counter as well. Look, it's probably not a bad way to approach a game like this, and I think it's, I don't think it's going to work. I think Arsenal will win, but there is a strategy there from Arsenal, I would say. From Spurs, as they look to counter this Arsenal side. And I would say, the way the weekend's gone, I wouldn't be surprised if this ended in a draw. I'm going with an Arsenal win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ended in an Arsenal draw, because it just feels like it's a bit of a weekend, a bit of a weird weekend at the moment. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, as promised, I am just going to go through the full details with Manscaped now. There is a 25% discount, a massive discount, 25% with the code footy. But what is Manscaped? It's the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Winter is coming. There's no better time to upgrade your routine. Whether you're shopping for your partner or your brother or yourself, Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is what it's all about. And as you can see here, I have the white hot 5.0 Manscaped edition there in hand. They've got everything you need for your male grooming routine, whether it's up the nose, beards, down there. Check it all out, and trust me, trim the grass to make the yard look bigger isn't just a line, it makes a big difference. And listen up, right now, Manscaped is running a huge Black Friday and Cyber Monday deal, 25% off until December the 4th. If you're watching this before December the 4th, hit the link and grab that 25% off while it's still live. Link in the description or scan the QR code. After the 4th of December, it will go down to 15% with the code footy. So there we go. Join over 13 million men who trust Manscaped and head to manscaped.com. Thank you very much. Manscaped.com. I think I said .com. That's nothing to do with it. Manscaped.com. Links in the description. Scan the QR code, 25% off. Let me just get that started around there then. So look, as I said, in relation to the league table, it's a big opportunity for Arsenal. They can open up a 7-point gap at the top of the league. There it is for you. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that there. So yeah, they are currently... Oh no, a 6-point gap because Chelsea are in second. I'm thinking about Man City. I mean, are we thinking about Chelsea as title contenders? So yeah, a win would put them 6 points ahead of Chelsea, 7 points ahead of Man City. I don't really put Chelsea. I was asked this a few times yesterday. I don't really put Chelsea into a title race, but obviously they're second in the league. Why would we not put them in there? I just don't think they're ready for that at the moment. Madueke's insane aura is unmatched, says Rajaf. And HD Freekicker 23 says, it's my birthday, Mark. Thanks for all the laughs. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you have a great day. Loads of people saying that in the chat. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes before kickoff. We're on 400 at the moment. Please do smash the like video and smash the like button and share the video. 4,300 legends in here already. We are 5 minutes away from the start of this game. I suppose one of the big questions is, do I think we're going to get a good game of football? I feel that Liverpool against Forest yesterday was actually a good watch. I think Man City Newcastle was a good watch. It should have been way more than 2-1 when you think about the chances that Haaland missed. I quite like these tifos that they're unveiling now in Premier League games. I think the atmosphere is so crap in the Premier League compared to what we see in the Bundesliga on a Friday night. Anything that adds a little bit of something has to be applauded. And these tifos very much remind me of playing computer games, but it just gives a little bit of something, and I'm never going to knock that. I actually am all for it. I think it gives a bit of atmosphere. You know, we don't get as the flags and the singing and the chanting, and we just don't get that in the Premier League, and I don't really understand why, but I do like the tifos. It adds something to it, doesn't it? And you can see flags are being waved on the pitch. It's a shame they're not being waved at either end of the ground. We've seen more of it at Old Trafford this season. But yes, it looks impressive. It's a big game. I've seen some cracking North London derbies over the years. I just don't know whether we're going to see that today. I think Arsenal have the best defence in the league and they're very good at set pieces. And I think Spurs are going to be in fear of that, and I think the reason he's gone for a 3-4-3, and let's be honest, it's probably a 5 back five if we're being honest, is that it might be quite a strategic game. And when you look at the league table where Spurs are at the moment, a win for them would take them into the top 4. A draw for them would take them basically 6th. I think they take a draw right now. I think they'd happily take a draw right now, and I think they're going to come for a draw. That's my feeling with Spurs, who really, there has been improvement under Thomas Frank, but also they've been pretty dire at home as well. Thanks for the super chats. Michael Oliver is the referee. Now, I think yesterday we sort of got away with it a bit. I thought there were some shocking decisions yesterday, but thankfully I don't think they really had a major impact on the right results in the games that I saw. I mean, I had an eye on the Leeds Villa game, the 2 o'clock game, and I couldn't understand on the Leeds goal why it took them so many minutes to come to that conclusion. It's very clearly on the second viewing, not a foul on Martinez, 10 seconds. And we're meant to have automated offside. I don't know why we're taking 3-4 minutes for decisions that could be done in 30 seconds. And I think personally, I'm hoping in this game we're not going to have the same old crap. But these officials clearly just don't understand the game they're watching. I think so many of us watch football. And because we watch football for so many years, it's almost like we're almost like computers ourselves. We see something and go, that's not a foul. Okay, play on. Okay, let's see what the computer says about offside. Okay, give the goal. But they second guess themselves. They're probably looking at the rule book. I just think we could be a lot quicker. We've got to get the game flowing. We've got to get the game flowing. Roger's goal, unreal. Hey, Dylan, we were talking yesterday about Bellingham. And obviously, Ian Wright's had a few things to say about the Bellingham treatment, which obviously is a very serious thing. I think we saw from Morgan Rogers today exactly why I would play Morgan Rogers and not Bellingham and not Foden. He's just very good at running beyond a striker and making things happen. And that's a very unique skill. And I'm trying to build a team. I'm not trying to throw my best players together. I want to build the best team. Yeah. But Rogers sensational today, but Leeds deserved more, says Cracker. I had it down as a draw. Robbie had it down as a Villa win. I mean, it's just been one of those weeks. I can't wait to do win, lose or draw on Friday and see that it's a 3-point gap again. Which I don't know whether it is, but I guarantee it fucking probably will be, because everything Robbie touches in relation to predictions seems to fucking happen. And I'm not bothered about it, but I'm just saying, like, Leeds should have got a fucking draw and didn't. Anyway, here we go. We've both gone with an Arsenal win on this, and we've both gone with the United win, so I can't make any points back, which is great. Lee Berman says Emery subs at half-time with a difference. Villa are doing very well at the moment. Really, really well. We're up and running here anyway. Enough of Villa. Why didn't the timer go then? I'm going to be a few seconds behind now. Dylan says, I don't care who wins, just be a good game. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would rather Arsenal win the league than Man City or Liverpool. However, I don't really want them to run away with the league. And if Spurs came here, played really well and won, it wouldn't bother me. So I'm hoping that we can get a good game of football. I'm not convinced we will, but I'm hoping we can. Thanks everyone who's liked the video, by the way. We are nearly at 1,000 likes. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. As always, the game is up and running now, and it's a big kick by Vicario. But one thing we haven't mentioned today, and we mentioned yesterday, is that it is a North London derby, the word being derby. And that really should always be a great leveller, no matter who's the favourite coming into it. Obviously, Arsenal have got the home advantage. I think that makes a big difference. However, I think these are the sort of games that are going to be the games where, and reasons why Arsenal will win the league. I think they've become a team that's very, very good at dealing with situations and coming out with it with a result. And I think they'll look at the results yesterday and go, we didn't expect Liverpool and Man City to lose. These are the weekends where, you know, you stick the boot in and you capitalise. Would you rather Chelsea win the league over Arsenal? Probably yes, because I'd say Chelsea, it's close. I mean, I don't like Arsenal. They're just less of a rival to me than Liverpool and Man City. So really, Chelsea, Arsenal, I mean, it's much of a muchness, really. There's a part of me that wants Arteta to win it so I can say I told you so. But I'm not really a told you so person. But I did say from the very start I could see what Arteta's doing. And if it ends up with Arsenal winning the league, it silences a lot of people who just obsessed with him failing, really. Obviously, I don't want Chelsea to win it because of Garnacho. Chicken Chow Mein has made a very good point. Yeah, Chelsea can piss off, actually. Yeah, definitely want Arsenal. I'd forgotten about that. That is a game changer. I'm sorry. I nearly went Chelsea over Arsenal. Absolutely not. Arsenal over Chelsea. Garnacho's at Chelsea. He can do one. Lovely play by Eze. Declan Rice. Big save for Vicario. And it's just gone wide off Danzo. Deflection. That was a big chance for Arsenal. And again, Declan Rice has obviously been studying Voltemeda and the ability to shoot straight at the goalkeeper, because if that goes either side, it's a goal. What is it that this weekend about people shooting straight at the goalkeeper? Do you think it's just an instinct thing to try and hit it your main thing is hit it on target, so you go for the centre of the goal. I think that could have been 1-0, and it would have been a great start. Bob Builders shouting out the mods. Big up for them. Great pass to Rice, says James. Saka with the corner, and that goes out for a goal kick off Timber's head. Yeah, either side of the goalkeeper, and that's 1-0 to Arsenal, but he's done a Voltemada and he's smacked it straight at the goalkeeper. Akon says, did you say Rodgers over Jude Bellingham? Jude Bellingham's a better player than Morgan Rodgers, but when it comes to England and the system that we want to play around Harry Kane, I'd go Rodgers over Bellingham because I want the number 10 to be running past Kane. I don't want him to be trying to play little tiki-taka shit. So if Bellingham can start doing that, all right, you can have your place back. But at the moment, I think Rodgers is in possession of it, and rightly so. Good win for Coventry yesterday, says Loud Walker, one of our members. Yeah, another big win for Coventry. They're looking very good at the moment. Vag says, Manchester United fan here. Manchester United have been good for his Asian fans recently. Who do you rate as a good player Man United should go for? Elliot Anderson. Dead says, Jude runs past the striker, mate, so that's nonsense. It's not nonsense. You just up the arse of Bellingham and don't want to acknowledge what I'm saying. I think we're a better team with Rodgers, Saka and Rashford, and they are in possession of the shirt. I'm not saying that Bellingham can't do it, but he's got to win his place back and he's got to do it. And if he doesn't do it, he doesn't get his place back. It's as simple as that. Rodgers is in possession of it. Stick with Rodgers. That's my opinion. I don't do agendas. I don't do player FC. And I don't do, oh, he's better than him, so let's put him in the team. I do what's best for the team, what's best for the system. We've seen that with PSG. They got rid of Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, and they won the Champions League as a team. And I think if England wants to actually win something, stop picking your best players and pick your best team. And that's what I want to see. Dead Red says, you said if he starts doing that. Well, I've seen him in an England shirt for the last 2 years and he doesn't do it. I don't think he's been particularly good in an England shirt. So if he starts running past Kane, like people like Gnabry does and like Rodgers does, he'll get his place back. If he doesn't, he won't. Simple as that. I am doing Chelsea, Barcelona watch along, yes. I'm very much looking forward to Arsenal, Bayern Munich on Wednesday night as well. A big week of Champions League football, of course. But look, North London derby, Arsenal against Spurs. Interesting first 5 minutes. Could have been 1-0 to Arsenal. Declan Rice smacking it straight at Vicario. There's Gabriel and Odegaard. Don't know when they're back. I mean, look at the quality of this Arsenal bench. Look at the quality of this Arsenal starting 11. And then consider this. Odegaard, Havertz, Gabriel, Gyökeres, all out injured. They have a great squad. They really do. They have to win the league this year. I predicted they would win the league at the start of the season. And it was a bit of an out there prediction because a lot of people were like, it'll be Liverpool, it'll be Liverpool. I understood that. But I went with Arsenal because I said if they get a striker, I think they'll win the league. Now, it looks like a very obvious prediction, but it wasn't at the start of the season. But where they are now, I would put that pressure on. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I would put that pressure on and say, I think they've got to win the league from this point. They'll never have a better chance. Man City have lost 4 games already and are trajecting towards 10 losses. You can't win the league with 10 losses. Liverpool can't win the league already. So, I mean, look, no one wants to say the title race is over in November, but this has to be Arsenal's best chance to win it. They have to win it. Vaj says, I love this guy. He won the Premier League on the new FIFA on World Class last minute. Loved it. Oh, it wasn't World Class. It was ultimate, mate. 2 above from that. Rob Always United says, I think the league is still to play for. Well, I hope it is. It is quite a competitive league. I certainly don't want to see Arsenal running away with the league title. I want them to see them have to work for it. And I'm sure at some point Arsenal will have a bit of a dip. The funny thing is, Man City are trajecting towards 10 losses, having lost 4 in their first 12. You do the maths. But I still don't think they're out of it. Jed Spence under a bit of pressure here from Saka as well to get it to Vicario, but it's a bad kick out and Timber will pick it up high on the right-hand side. Nice little ball there into Saka. who tried to get it back to him, but Arsenal retained possession. City won't lose 10, says Playbot. Mate, they've lost 4 in 12. There are 38 games. 3 times 12 is 36 games. They could lose. They're trajecting actually towards 13 losses when you do the maths. I think Man City might lose 10 games. Let's see about that. Bob Builder says projections though, Mark. Could. Everything's projections, mate. None of us are Mystic Meg. That's a nice ball into Timber. Good defending by Spence. Got to get rid of that Danzo. Not the best clearance. And that goes back to the keeper. Romero not very happy. Thanks for your super chats, Vaj. Anyway, you can do that through the $sign. Appreciate that. We're only 100 likes away from 1,000 likes. Please do smash a like on the video. It's easy to do. Just smash it. I hope it's a draw, says Imran. I mean, I was tempted to say that, but you know what? If Arsenal drop points, it's great for our title race. I mean, technically, it is. Man City have dropped point, but all I'm bothered about with United is top 5. Top 5 will be Champions League football. That would be it for me. Be very happy with that. I think there's a few teams that you can look at this season already and go, this is what you've got to achieve. Aston Villa have got to get Champions League football, probably through the Europa League. Arsenal have got to win the league. Man United have got to get Champions League. It's not everybody's in that position at the moment, but I think those 3 clubs definitely. Liverpool, I don't know. I don't know what you... I mean, can you recover and actually compete for the Champions League? It's not beyond the realms of possibility. Same for Manchester City. Man City might still think they can win the league. This is going to be a tight game, says Dougie. We've got 10,000 people watching already. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Get involved with That's Football. You're all welcome. The biggest and best football community out there. We've got a big week in the Champions League, but the Premier League's been brilliant this weekend. I've got to say, it really has. And I'll be on the United stand for United tomorrow night in their pumping of Everton. I mean, it should come with a health warning, really. The boys in blue from Liverpool are going to get a good hiding tomorrow night. It should be on after 9 o'clock because it's going to be a beating. And look, people will say, oh, he's jinxing it. We beat them 4-0 last year and we were crap. I can really see I can see Tuesday morning excitement as people start talking about Man United in the title race because I think we will win. Hope you come to New York for the World Cup, Mark, says Aaron Jones. Thank you very much, Aaron. Well, I was over there, obviously, last week. He's got an injury here to Trossard. He seems to have hurt his shoulder. Or is it his leg? No, he's hurt his knee. He's hurt his knee. Yeah, I was in New York last week doing a bit of business as well, as I was in the summer, and it's going to be a very interesting World Cup. I think there's going to be a great level of interest in it. Somebody was telling me that a lot of the games are actually sold out on pure vibes. Like, people don't even know who's going to play in the games. So, you know, you might think you're going to get England against France. You could end up getting Ireland against... Ireland would be good. You know, you could get a right crap game as well. Didn't look that bad on Polina, by Polina on Trossard there, but I'll be there, Mark. Up the toffees. We're going to win, says Solskjaer. Look, credit to Everton. If you come and play well tomorrow and get a result, I will hold my hands up and say I got it wrong. But I think it's we've got some good fixtures, United, coming up over the next 10 games, and this is one where you look at it and you go, that's got to be a win. I'm not so arrogant to say Palace away is a definite win. It'd be a very good win. But Everton at home has to be a win. I'm going to go at least 3-0. And I'm allowed to predict it. I'm allowed to predict it. That's the whole point. Richarlison and Odebear haven't even had a touch yet. 13 minutes in. What was for dinner, Mark? Lovely dinner, actually. Absolutely lovely dinner. Let me know some of yours. Roast chicken. Roast potatoes. Oh, no, we didn't have roast potato. Did we have roast potatoes? I don't think we did. We had, sweet potato mash. Roast chicken. Broccoli stem. Carrots. Red cabbage. Parsnips. It was very nice. Then I had a plum pudding, which sounds a bit sinister, but really was the fruit plum. No other plums going in my mouth. Calafiori putting a bit of pressure on Kudos. That's a bad clearance, and it goes for a goal kick. What are you having for later? I don't know, actually. 8 o'clock show on the United stand. What's your favourite alcoholic beverage? At the moment, red wine. Villa on the Road, yes. I went to a really good cocktail bar in New York. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was quite exclusive. We went with some people that we know there, and it was I panicked basically. It's a renowned cocktail bar, just around the corner from the Friends apartment building, and I panicked and I ordered a glass of red wine and I was frowned upon. Even the waiter was like, threw me a look. I went, just get me the bloody Danny Malbec and piss off. But I panicked. I didn't know what to order, so I went, I'll just have a glass of red wine. And everyone was like, you're in a cocktail bar. I went, I know that. Get me a Danny Malbec. If you got made Liverpool manager, would you give Konate and Gomez a new 250k a week contract to take the mick, then resign straight away? Says Clark. Spurs pumping it long. Raya gets hold of it. Made by Monkey says, I just realised Michael Oliver is refereeing the game, so that'll be 4-0 to Tottenham then. Nathaniel says, what do you think Southampton's chances are of getting promoted? Well, it was a fantastic result for them yesterday. Were they 5-1 up at half-time against Charlton? Look, Southampton have got a good enough squad to get up. I hope they don't. I'm bored of seeing the same teams coming up and down. I would love to see 3 teams that haven't been up for a while. But it's such a long. It's like the Scottish League, isn't it? With Hearts. Do I think they're going to win the league? No, I don't, because I think there's just too many games. I mean, they lost to Aberdeen today, so they're already starting to lose points at the top. So there's a long way back for Southampton, but there's time for them to do it. I mean, when you look at the gap at the top for Hearts, it's only 4 points and Celtic have got a game in hand. We all know what's going to happen there. Hearts have drawn 2 of their last 3. Tyrone says, this is typical Thomas Frank tactics, boring. Lemon or lime, says we. I like lime. It might have been a good thing if that Declan Rice chance had gone in, because it had opened the game up a little bit. Cooking with Goldbridge is going to be back in the next week or so, Claire. The kitchen is almost open. I'm just waiting for one more thing to get fitted, and then we're already using it. It's just the most important thing for Cooking with Goldbridge I need. It's not the cooker, it's the splash thing behind it, which hopefully will be in next week. Just got to decide what I'm going to do. I don't know how Arsenal got a free kick here, because it looked to me like Saka fouled Udogie, but Arsenal have the free kick. It'd be typical if they score. Was that really a free kick? Over the bar anyway. Lee Berman says, can you do a fruit pastels tier list? Green, yellow, orange, red, purple. I think purple would be my number 1. Red would be number 2. Green 3, orange 4, yellow 5. What happened to the good football Arsenal had, says Michael. And Rub says, Arsenal fans, what gets you up in the morning? What is the point of looking to build a team? You guys will never become serial winners and a dominant force like United, Liverpool, Chelsea or City. There you go, Arsenal fans. Have a bit of that. Have a bit of that. Whatever that is. Adogi down the left-hand side. Timber's right on him, though. And Saka's there to help him. I think that's got to be a free kick. And he doesn't give it again. Michael Oliver's definitely not anti-Arsenal here. I was actually watching something on YouTube last night about, and I don't think you have this in the United States, but it was all the things that tasted better when we were a kid. Don't worry, we're not going down the old sinister route at all. It's like Iron Brew. Tutti Frutti sweets, remember those with the chewy sweets? Tizer. And apparently it's because in the early 90s, the UK government banned a load of things that made people had to change their recipes, which aren't banned in the US. Jelly Tots, that was it, yeah. Jelly Tots were nice. Like, there's a load of stuff in the United States that we brought back that you can't buy it here because it's got too many flavorings or, you know, dyes or anything in it. Sunny Delight, that was another one. Even Snickers. And you know why they did it? I think it was because of additives and everything causing kids to have, you know, reactions to it. Umbongo was nice. Talking about Christmas, those Quality Street, I know I've moaned about it once. Disgraceful. Disgraceful what they've done with that. Hey, give me some Team of the Week contenders as well. I've got a show with Robbie tomorrow, and I want Team of the Week players. I've already got Harvey Barnes, Elliot Anderson, Murillo, and Thwaite, or Twait, or whatever, I can't remember his name, the Newcastle centre-back. So if anyone thinks anyone else, I was thinking maybe Danny Welbeck. That's a lovely ball by Richarlison. Rodgers has got to be in there. Yeah. Rodgers has got to be in there. I'd probably put him in my midfield 3, Rodgers. Yeah, good one. Morgan Rodgers, 100%. See, this is why you're so good. Make sure you smash a like. We're nearly at 1,000 likes. Bruno G. Yeah, good shout. Yamal can't be in Team of the Week for the Premier League, mate. He's good, but he ain't that good. Munoz at right back, definitely. Good shout. Isaac. He wouldn't be in Team of the Week. Santos for Chelsea. Yeah, a lot of people were shouting him out. I will put him in. A lot of people were shouting him out yesterday. That's a good shout. And we've had a super chat for that as well from Max. So definitely going to put him in. I can be bought. Unless you say Isaac, in which case I don't care if it's a £100 chat. Well, I probably would put it in. In soccer, derbies are huge. Which American football rivalries feel most similar in intensity, says Thet Sniper. I don't know. I don't really know any American football rivalries. Garnacho for Team of the Week. He didn't even get on, Robbo. Elise was brilliant for Bayern, but he can't be in it. I think Morgan Rodgers is a fantastic player. I mean, he was the player last season that I was saying these are the sort of players we need to cherish. The players that get the ball and run at people. They're so rare. Jade says, what's your go-to meal deal? I haven't had a meal deal in ages. But I used to have it quite a lot. And I used to have a chicken Caesar salad wrap, a bag of Doritos, and a Ribena. And I don't know whether that's mid or shit or good, but that's what I used to go with. To start, bench, sell, Villa versus Birmingham, Tyneside derby, Merseyside derby, Van Nistelrooy, Van Basten and Van Persie. What does that even mean, Tyler? I don't even know what that means. And Burma will be team of the week after tomorrow. So yeah, we're unlucky that we can't be in it, actually, Syndicate. Because I'm sure there'll be some big performances from United's attackers tomorrow. Arsenal haven't scored. I wish they had, but they haven't. It's still 0-0 here after 23 minutes. And if you look at the stats, Spurs abysmally doing exactly what we thought they would do, parking the bus. I mean, there's not a lot you can do when you're... Arsenal get a lot of criticism for playing boring football. But I remember watching Barcelona against Inter, and Barcelona looked boring playing against the bus. It's difficult to play good football and expansive football. I mean, I heard that Jeff Stelling going on about Arsenal should be playing more expansive football. And I went, you should be sat on your arse talking about something that you don't know about instead of acting like you're a bloody hipster. You know, it's hard to play expansive football when every team you play against parks the bloody bus. And, you know, what better example of parking the bus than no shots on goal and 36% possession after 24 minutes? It's a back five. It's not a 3-4-3. Someone in the chat said, look at Frank. He's playing a 3-4-3. Look at that back line. We've seen it with United. That's a back five. It's a 5-3-2. You can see it. And this is the problem that Arsenal are going to have. And this is why it must be very satisfying when they get a corner and score from it and go up yours, you park the bus twats. Do you think the second Leeds goal... Oh, mate, you know what? I was so tempted to tweet. Melza, thanks for your super chat. If you didn't see the Leeds-Villa game, I'm really pleased that Villa won. You know, some of my mates are Villa fans, and obviously it's Leeds. As a United fan, I don't want anything for them. However, I've got to say, when I saw the equaliser from Leeds that was ruled out because it hit Calvert-Lewin's hand, I know it's a handball. I know it's a handball, but I also go, common sense, it's going in anyway. So I'm almost like, can you really have any complaints? It's not really done anything. It's hit his hand accidentally and the ball was going in anyway. Surely, with the technology we've got, I know by the letter of the rule, it's got to be ruled out, but by the letter of the law, he's got to rule it out. But realistically, it's accidentally caught his hand, which is close to his body, and it was going in anyway. Just give the goal. That's my theory on it. Especially when we go back to the Newcastle Spurs game last year, where Joel Linton blocks the ball with his hand, accidentally, but it completely changes direction of the pass, and Newcastle score a goal and it's given. I mean, how can you give a goal where in the build-up it hits someone's hand and changes the direction of the ball, and then not give a goal where it was going in anyway and it brushed past his hand? So I just think you've got to say it wasn't a goal. But again, I think it's a silly rule. I would love to know how long the ball has actually been in play in this game. Seems every throw-in lasts for at least 20 seconds, says Addy. Wow, I've said it before and I'll say it again. They need to do something about it, pal. They need to put a time limit on throw-ins. The Premier League desperately needs to look at getting the ball in play more because it's so not in play a lot. Start, bench, sell. Rodri, Pedri, Vitinha. I'll sell Vitinha. I'll bench Pedri. And if we're talking about at their best, I'd have to start Rodri. That was from Eureka. Start, bench, sell. Rooney, Kane, and Shearer. This is strip weather. I'll sell Shearer. I'll bench Kane, and I'll start Rooney. It's only in recent times I would normally say sell Kane, bench Shearer, start Rooney. And Alan Shearer was a very good goal scorer. But when you look at those three players, Rooney's the best talent, so he's got to start. And between Kane and Shearer, even if Shearer is a better goal scorer, and I don't know that he is, Kane's build-up play is unbelievable. So Kane's better than Shearer, in my opinion. Areola and Callum Wilson says Game Riot. Who does Callum Wilson play for? I've had an absolute brain blank there. Areola for West Ham. Oh, do they both play for West Ham? I think they both play for West Ham, don't they? I mean, he conceded 2 goals, mate. Vidget says, just a suggestion, if you can please adjust the light so that it doesn't reflect on your quote frame, I think it will improve the camera frame. I don't think I can, mate, because if it's that camera, you can still see it, and you lose a load of stuff. So I can't do it, mate. Elliot Anderson for Team of the Week. Did you know the Brachiosaurus never existed? It was just a juvenile apatosaur, says Brian. Well, I didn't, but I know now. Wednesday versus United Today game flowed so much more, says Solski. What was the score in that? I was going to watch it and then I didn't. Start, sub, sell, Mahrez, Hazard, Marine, says Strip Weather. Thanks for your super chats. I'll start Hazard at his best. I'll bench Mane and I'll sell Mahrez. Would you bring Kane to United as a number 10? No. Harry Kane doesn't suit United's system. Good cross in by Arsenal. Comes back to Timber. Doesn't catch hold of it. I don't think Harry Kane suits Man United's system because with 2 number 10s, he is also a number 10. So, well, he likes to play in the number 10 position. Timber's in here. Good defending by Van der Ven, and Vicario pounces on it like a cat. There we go. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. On That's Football, you're all welcome. Lots of content on here. We've had a very busy last 24 hours. I've done 3 videos, and this is our 3rd watch-along. It's good to have football back. Thank you for everyone who gets involved and subscribes. Big week of Champions League football. We love the Champions League here. Tuesday night, Chelsea-Barcelona. Can't wait for that. What a test that is for Chelsea to see what they're all about. And then Bayern against Arsenal on Wednesday night. I think Bayern Munich are the best team in Europe. They've beaten PSG in Paris. They obviously beat Chelsea. They're absolutely blitzing the Bundesliga. And whilst that's maybe expected, they're actually blitzing it because they're playing bloody well. Arsenal, I think, are one of the best teams in Europe at the moment. It's like the trilogy. We've seen PSG Bayern. Bayern won. We now see Arsenal Bayern. Who wins? Start, bench, sell, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm starting Thursday, I'm benching Wednesday, and I'm selling Tuesday. I don't know why the real ghost chase, but I don't know about you lot. But Tuesday, I feel more fed up on a Tuesday than I do on a Monday. And people are going to say, that's not a hot take. I didn't say it was. I'm just saying I always feel worse on a Tuesday than I do on a Monday. I think there's a novelty to Monday, isn't there? I like Thursdays. I wouldn't say Thursday's better than Friday, but it's good. Oh, what's going on in the box? He's given a free kick. How are you? Says Andre. I'm good, mate. Good. Brilliant week in New York last week. Football's back. We've had a good Saturday. Hopefully we're going to get a good Sunday. I thought the Villa Leeds game was good. And this has been exactly what everyone was saying and we were saying at the start. You know, it's been a park the bus by Spurs. And as much as it, for a North London derby, this is crap. This is basically a white flag from Spurs. We want a 0-0. And you can't argue with that because Spurs fans probably going, it's all we can hope for. Arsenal are better than us. And if we can frustrate them and get a draw, we'll take that. But I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm a fan of football. It's the North London derby. And I would like to see a bit of entertainment. Lovely play by Saka. You're going in the book. You're going in the book. Bentancur is in the book. Yellow card. Yuriki says, start, bench, sell, Bayern, Arsenal, PSG. Personally, I think Bayern are the best team in Europe. Arsenal second, PSG third. We'll find out on Wednesday. Strip Weather says, the last one from me. Neymar, Ronaldinho, Vinicius Jr. Ronaldinho starts, Neymar bench, Vinicius Jr. sold. It's the Milan derby later, says HD. Thank you very much for that. Start, bench, sell, Salah, Yamal, Elise. Right here, right now, sell Salah, bench Yamal, start Elise. If we're talking about them at their best, it's a different conversation. But right now, I think that's fair. Anyway, we've got a free kick here for Saka, and it's a chance to whip a cross in. Thanks everyone who liked the video, by the way. We've gone past 1,000 likes. Legends. Thanks for all the super chats. Saka's about to get this. Any good restaurants you went to in New York, says Jade? Anton's. It's a goal! I thought it was a goal. Saka's hit one of those crosses that is curling into the back post. People are thinking, will I get my head on it? Vicario's undecided. But you know what? That's good goalkeeping. He tracked the ball. As a goalkeeper in that situation, when it's curling in front of a load of people and you think someone might get their head on it, your job as a goalkeeper is just to track the ball. If someone gets a head on it, you're not expected to save it. But if it goes, doesn't get a touch on it, and it goes in the far corner, that's on you. So this is good keeping by Vicario. Look at this. Just follows the track of the ball. Prattman was rubbish at it. And it's a standard save at the end. Kane's aura has gone to insane levels lately after his move to Bayern. He's having his best season and he's the centrepiece of England. Says, right, I can't wait for the game on Wednesday. I really can't. I think Bayern Munich will not play like Spurs at Arsenal. And I think we could get an absolute classic. Arsenal definitely missing Gyökeres. And Vicario gets that. As a fellow United fan, it's a must-win tomorrow, says Dale. I think I'm very confident. I'm very looking forward to it. Eddie says, with a super chat, this is ironic, right? So Eddie says, stop going on about New York and rubbing your wealth and status in our faces. Some of us struggle to pay bills next week and pay our bills. Mate, I was in New York in Central Park, and I'm not joking. There was a family there. I'm not going to say where they were from. Their clothing, I don't know how they got to New York. I very much doubt either of the parents had a job, and they had about 6 kids with them. So I don't think New York's unachievable as a holiday. And I haven't had a holiday this year. That's my only holiday this year. So there we go. But thanks for your super chat, Eddie. Times are hard. Respect. Start, bench, sell, Rodri, Busquets, Kante. God, Rex, these are getting harder. We're doing a lot of start, bench, sells. This is not a good advert for this North London derby. I mean, I'm happy, but Rodri, Busquets, Kante. Sell Busquets. Bench Rodri. Start Kante. Are Man United, Madrid, Bayern the biggest 3 teams in the world, says Rajaf. I think Barcelona would have something to say about that as well. That's a lovely ball. Trossard. Oh, he's on the turn and he scored. What a goal. What a goal. That is a goal. That's what we needed. I'm telling you now, Spurs, shove your defensive part of the bus. No shots on goal. 35% percentage possession up your arse. I'm no Arsenal fan, but that's a goal for football. And it's not from a set piece. It's a really good goal. You can shove your part of the bus football right up your arse. I'm so glad it's an open play goal. That is a goal for football. Whether you like Arsenal or not, that's a goal for football, because this has been a crap game because of the way Spurs have approached it. A back 5, park the bus, no possession, no shots on goal, and it's a lovely little ball. He's miles onside. Look at that, back 5 killed by one pass, and he spins and he scores. Well done, Arsenal. And that's a goal. I don't care whether you don't like Arsenal or not. At some point, you've got to put your hands in the air and say, anti-football can't be the winner. That's a goal for football. Well done. Lovely, but Moreno with the pass as well. What a ball by Moreno. And a lovely finish by Trossard. It was majestic. It was absolutely majestic. And look, I think that there is an argument to say that the Premier League has been boring at times this season. I thought the games yesterday were good, and I think that goal there changes this game for the better for us, the spectator, because Spurs have done nothing, and they've got to do something. And fair play. I always think the attacking team, you know, you want them to score. Calafiori, wild cross there. Is Harry Kane a company signing? Where does he rank in the manager landscape? Says Dino. I think Vincent Kompany is doing a great job at Bayern Munich, but it's a bit like Pep at Bayern Munich, isn't it? You know, it's hard to fail when you've got everything you need to play an idealistic system. He didn't do well at Burnley. You can't spell anti-football without Spurs, says V-Man. Thanks everybody who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. 1-0 to Arsenal here. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Big up to Manscaped, by the way. You can get 25% off all their male grooming equipment, including the Manscaped Trim the Grass to make the yard look bigger. Use the code footy, link in the description. Scan the QR code, 25% off. No, I was going to say something else. Yes, this is what I wanted to look at. Have a look at this. There you go. No shots on target, no shots at all, no corners, and 28% possession. Piss off. That is him. You know, if you're a Spurs fan, you'd be disgusted with that in a North London derby. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. It does need calling out. You know, people talk about Amrim's system and his formation. In a North London derby, 28% possession and it's nearly half time. Absolutely scandalous. Shit. Really, really shit. And I think Thomas Frank will come under a little bit of pressure. I know you've got to be defensive, but you've got to have a strategy. And, you know, Arsenal are treating shots on target like goals. You know, how many games do Arsenal actually not even concede a goal? Matthew says, Mark's an Arsenal fan, I just can't prove it. No, I'm a football fan, mate. That's why it's called That's Football. I mean, we've done more win, lose or draws here than Spurs have done passes. Rub says, Arteta has destroyed everything Wenger built. Make says, what's happened to Solanke? He's injured at the moment, mate. And Alec Miller says, that goal might actually help us to get a good match. Tottenham will have to come out now. He's going to go to a back four. What are you playing a back five against Moreno for either? Like, they're playing a back five and Arsenal don't even have a fucking striker. It's mad. But that's how you deal with it. It was a lovely pass by Moreno. I think Bayern Arsenal is going to be a really good game because Bayern won't sit back. Lovely ball in by Timber. They've got players here. Eze. Oh, what feet? Oh, it's a worldie. It's a worldie by Eze. It's 2-0. And I tell you what, Spurs, go home. Go home. It's over. What a goal. The feet by Eze. It was like watching prime Michael Jackson from the late 80s. Because that was footwork, people. That was bad. No, it wasn't bad. It was good. It was absolutely fantastic. He may as well do the moonwalk as a celebration because those feet were magical. Watch this back. Eze, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And of course, he was going to go to Spurs. He was going to go to Spurs. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Watch this. Declan Rice plays a brilliant first-time ball. Watch this. Declan Rice, first time. Now watch the feet. See you later. Bang. This is brilliant. Lovely ball by Declan Rice. Don't forget that. Quick feet and then... I don't know whether it takes a slight deflection, but he's got no right to score from there. There's enough Spurs defenders there, but bit of a deflection, maybe. Vicario can't get his hand on it. It's a great goal. It's a great goal. Who says Arsenal can't play expansive football? As a Liverpool fan, I'm ready to write the season off, says RD, taking into consideration the tragedy. And Max says, I think if we beat Arsenal on the weekend, it's a title charge. Last year we drew teams like Burnley, but this year we are way more consistent. Who's playing Arsenal at the weekend, Max? Oh, Chelsea. Chelsea-Arsenal, yeah. Be an interesting game, that. Top of the table clash, yeah. Look, I'm not sleeping on Chelsea at all, but I didn't have them in the title race. maybe, you know, that'd be a big game on Saturday. Sunday. Some people saying that should have been offside. You know what? I feel like I didn't see that. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano. Let's have a look. Perfect angle. Declan Rice first time pass. My God, you're absolutely right. There's 3 Arsenal players in the way. I mean, it should be a goal. 100% should be a goal. But what I'm saying is, this is why Van Dijk's goal against Man City was scandalous. Because I think the Forest goal yesterday was the same, and it should have been given. And I think that should have been given as well. However, there are 2 Arsenal players in the line of the keeper. Clearly offside. 2 players in front of the keeper. Who says Arsenal can't score from open play, says Amir. And do you prefer the Foden assist or the Mourinho assist, says King. Oh, fair play, mate. Good banter. I mean, come on. It was such a great ball by Moreno. I thought Declan Rice's assist there was very good as well, to hit that first time into the feet of Eze. I mean, there's a lot of work for Eze to do still, but there's nothing like a first-time pass. 29% possession, no shots at all from Spurs. And you've got to say, it's a tactical disaster class from Frank as well. Because they've been absolutely shit and they're 2-0 down at half-time. You can't even make a case to say, well, you know, they've done all right. They're just losing to a better side. They are losing to a better side and they're playing shit. Three minutes of added time. Can you see a Spurs way back? Absolutely not. I think there's more chance of a bloody Stephen Hawking's comeback than there is of a Spurs comeback. Rest in peace. Genius. He's got to go to a back 4 and he's got to have a go. Simple as that. That's what Thomas Frank's got to do. And if he doesn't do that, I think they're going to have problems. Because they could get pumped 3, 4, 5-0. You know? "50 years, mate. How crazy. I reckon Arsenal is going to win it this year. They're looking way too good," says Man United Hodge. Hope you're doing well, pal. Thanks for being a 50 months member of this channel. You're a legend, mate. I've said it at 0-0. Arsenal have to win this game with teams around them losing, apart from Chelsea, of course, who they play next Sunday. They'll never have a better chance to win the league. They're the best team. They're conceding the least goals. They have the best squad. And teams around them, it's hard to see anybody that's going to compete with them. If this had been last season, Liverpool would be pushing them. If it was the year before, Man City would be pushing them. Maybe Chelsea are going to be the second team this year. But it's not obvious who is going to mount a challenge, whereas Arsenal look as good as Liverpool did last year or Man City did the year before. So Arsenal have to take advantage of this. Half-time, 2-0 to Arsenal. And let's just glaze Arsenal for a moment, because the first goal was brilliant. The second goal was brilliant. They've conceded nothing defensively. They've scored 2 goals in a North London derby. Their intensity, their game plan has been spot on. And well done to Arsenal. Now let's talk about Spurs, whose game plan has been horrific. And they deserve all the criticism they're going to get. Because to come in a North London derby, to come and park the bus, have no corners, have less than 30% possession, and be 2-0 down at half-time, is an absolute catastrophe. It's embarrassing. The least you expect, and look, I'm a veteran of derbies, whether it's the North London derby, the Merseyside derby, but more specifically the Manchester derby. I look back on the years when we had Sir Alex, and we were a brilliant team, you know, the likes of Beckham and Keane, etc., playing against Man City sides that had people like Steve Lomas in it. They'd come and have a fucking go. They wouldn't come and park the bus and go, please don't hurt us. They'd come and have a go. Crap Man City sides would come and have a go against Manchester United, and, you know, they'd have a go because it's a derby. And this is not like a derby. This may as well be Burnley against Arsenal. It's a crap advert for a North London derby, and it's completely and exclusively in the hands of Spurs. The way they've approached this game is abysmal. They may as well put up a big white flag. And what surprises me is, you go back a couple of years ago and Spurs could have beaten Spurs could have beaten Man City to get Champions League football, but because it was going to help Arsenal win the league, they let Man City win. So they are a club that is obsessed with stopping Arsenal, and they've turned up here today and seem to just don't have the brief. Light switch FC again, but the tactics are terrible. Really, really bad. Spurs are shit, says Rub. Derbies should be played without fear of losing, says Lee Berman. I think that's what fans expect. That is what fans expect. To go in, what I'm trying to say is, and Lee puts it perfectly, when I think about Everton, Liverpool over the years, and Man City, Man United over the years, and even Spurs, Arsenal over the years, one of the consistent themes is you go into that game, you understand the responsibility of the fact that it's a derby, and you go out there, and even if you lose, your fans know your players went up a level because it's a derby and they gave it everything. If you're a Spurs fan, you are not satisfied because you're losing, but you're also, look, no one likes to lose, but if you can look at your players and look at your manager and go, you did everything you could to try and win that game, and you gave everything, then you sort of go, look, it's horrible, but they did do everything. This is just, as I said, it's white flag football. They might as well be walking around going, yeah, we're going to play anti-football and pray. And it's spineless. Spurs the spineless, really. And as I say, credit to Arsenal, but crap. Champions of Europe, we will park the bus, says Comedy Long Pants. Thank you very much. Tommy Frank having a Tommy Tank, says Shinobi Ben. Come on, you Gunners. Still remember United fans glazing Frank over Amorim, says Michael. David Coote gets done because of Liverpool. I wonder why all these refs seem to be against Liverpool, says Danny on the gas. Could you do an Ashes watch along, says ABC? Nah. Start, bench, sell, Arteta, Pep, Southgate's mum, says Rub. And who says Arsenal can't score from open play? We've done that from Amir as well. Derby should be played without fear. We've done that. Thank you very much. So half-time here. Nearly 16,000 of you watching. Please smash a like on the video. We've nearly got 2,000 likes, which is fantastic. And do share the video. Thanks everyone for tuning in. So yes, it's the fear would be, I've left the clock running here. The fear would be that we saw it with Atletico Madrid in the Champions League when they had to open up a little bit to try and come back into the game, and Arsenal pummeled them. The funny thing is, from a Tottenham point of view, we might not see a different approach in the second half. We might see damage limitation from Thomas Frank. He might actually think, let's do the same thing and make sure we don't concede a game. The game is lost, let's give it up. I mean, that to me, I just couldn't do. If I was the manager, I would say we're going to a back four, we're going to have a go, and we're going to finish this game. And even if we lose it, we're going to finish this game by putting some pride into our fans and into this great occasion. He might not do that, though, because it could turn into 5-6-0, you know? So it's embarrassing for Spurs. It really, really is. And look, we always look at this at half-time. We always look at the stats and go, you know, guess the scoreline. Sometimes, but that's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. The only good thing about the pass accuracy is it's the word 69. That's it. I mean, for a pass accuracy, 69% is abysmal. Abysmal. You would be expecting at the lowest, even for a crap team, somewhere in the 70s. 69% is crap pass accuracy. No corners, no shots at all. 32% possession. To be fair, there was a time when it was down to 28% possession. So, yeah, it's crap. It really is. And they're barely making more tackles than Arsenal either. So it's not like without the ball they're making loads of tackles. I mean, Arsenal are only 2 tackles behind them. So shocking, really, really shocking. And I think, look, it's no skin off my nose, but if you're a Spurs fan, you need to see something in the second half here. You do. On the offside, 2 wrongs don't make a right, says Welsh Wing 98. Look, in fairness, I think this is why Howard Webb should have come out and apologised for the Van Dijk thing. You know the Van Dijk header against Man City, where it should have been a goal a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't give it, and everyone said it should have been given. And then a couple of days later, Howard Webb's there with Michael Owen trying to justify it. That's where they made the mistake, because we've seen the Forest goal and the Arsenal goal, which are very similar, where the goal's been given. That's the right choice. But the reason we've all got a right to moan, and Liverpool fans have got a right to moan, is because they didn't apologise for getting it wrong with Van Dijk. They tried to justify the decision. And what we've seen this weekend is that Eze's goal, where there's 3 Arsenal players in the line of Vicario, and Murillo's goal yesterday, there are players in the line of the goalkeeper in an offside position, but those goals should be given. I agree with the goals being given, but because they backed what they did with Van Dijk, they make it a mockery. What they should have done is apologise to Liverpool for the Van Dijk one, and then with these goals, you'd go, yeah, that's a goal, that's a goal, that's a goal. So I think that's the thing. The Van Dijk goal should have been given, and I think both of these goals should have been given, because Vicario can make the save on Eze's shot. That's my point. I lost my mum 2 months ago at 24. It's always just been us, really struggling to exist in life. We'll try and fight. Thanks for being there, Mark and the guys, says Yusuf. I'm sorry to hear that, Yusuf. This is a fantastic community of which you are part of. And obviously, you are going to be struggling after such a major loss. That's what grief is. But I'm 100% sure that your mum wouldn't want you to be down and, you know, considering, you know, struggling to exist. She would want you to live on and stay strong. But you're battling through it, mate. It's a horrible, horrible situation to be in, and you've got all our support here. 1 whiskey, 2 lagers, 2-0. I feel so alive, says Now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Welsh Wings as well. Spurs waving the white flag. Dido FC. Dildo FC. No, that's too far, isn't it? But they basically are lubing up and saying, stick it. Got my jumper yesterday, mate. It's stunning, says Rudolph the Red. Thank you very much, mate. The Christmas jumper, yeah. Oh, if you want to get one of our Christmas jumpers, I don't think I've even put it in the video description, so I'll shut up about that. But I'll get that ready for the next one. Except Man United, who do you want to win? By the way, City and between Arsenal and City. Arsenal, Phoenix, definitely. Definitely. 100%. Trossard is a great squad player, always consistent, says Exile. How did United draw against Tottenham? I'm glad people are saying that. I'm glad people are saying that. I don't know how we drew against Tottenham, to be honest with you. We nearly bloody lost it. What attributes do Palhinha and Bentaka bring, says Robert McCormack. I like Palhinha. Yeah. Cara says Michael Owen. Why do people keep saying Michael Owen? Michael Owen was stood with Howard Webb on the referee show. Does that clarify for you? I like Palhinha, Robert McCormack. I do. Yeah. What do you think the final score is going to be? I don't know. I think if Spurs park the bus, Arsenal will go through the motions as well in the second half and just take the win. It genuinely could be 3-4-0. It really could. It could be. It could go higher than that, but I'd say 3 or 4-0 really. Yeah. Ali Kaz says, I'm an Arsenal fan. It's the best team in the world. Well, this is why I'm massively looking forward to the game on Wednesday night between Bayern and Arsenal. Arsenal, easily the best team in England at the moment. Bayern, arguably the best team in Europe at the moment. I think it's going to be a really good game. And I'd be very surprised if Bayern Munich come to Arsenal and park the bus as well. So it should be a game where a team plays Arsenal in an expansive way. I'm very excited about it. How did Liverpool beat Arsenal this season, says Max? And weakest league in years, 7 years, 7-year Arteta can walk the league, says Alison Becker. Thank you very much. And if Arsenal win the league, says Clinton, do you think that's a win for the backing a manager? Well, yeah, I think it is. And also, I think going back to what Alison Becker said there, we were talking about this a few moments ago. I do agree with you. I think that Arsenal can only do what they're doing, but who is a credible title challenger? We thought it might be Man City. They go and lose yesterday. We know it's not Liverpool. I don't believe Chelsea are ready for it. So it's a huge opportunity for Arsenal. And I'm sure Arsenal look at it and go, hello, we're ready to win this title, but we didn't expect it to be as much in our plans as it is. Adrian, sorry. Thank you very much for your super chat. We deserve to win the league. We have suffered enough, says KM. Well, you know what? I remember a few people sort of going in on me at the end of the season when I said, you know, you can't be sacking Arteta because he finished second in the league. And there was a lot of Arsenal fans who were saying, keep your nose out, this, that, and the other, which is fine. And they were saying we should be sacking Arteta. I said, it's bloody ridiculous. You know, you've got to give him the season with a striker because he didn't have a striker. And those people are going to get sat down big time because their impatience nearly cost them the Premier League. I bet it was very frustrating to finish second, was it 3 years in a row? But this was the season with the striker in the squad where you really judge Arteta. This was the final piece. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to happen. And those people that were Arteta out, I think now's the time to go, I'm Arteta in, because you've got a great chance of winning the league. And don't talk about tactics or style of play. Look at what Spurs have done here. Park the bus. No intention of trying to score goals. And Arsenal score 2 goals from open play, which is very difficult against a team that's parking the bus. There is a long way to go, Kay Jackson. There is a long way to go. But regardless of whether there is a long way to go or not, I think that you've got to look at it and say that you've got to look at it and say, if Arsenal don't win this league, I think there'd be a big problem. I think from where it is at the moment, it would be a big problem. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans, and they'll go, it ain't over, it ain't over, it ain't over. Of course it is. But I can say categorically that if you don't win the league from this point, then you've got, you know, a tough job on your hands to try and justify it. As an Arsenal fan, I'm most worried about Chelsea, says Joe. That's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Well, there's a substitution here for Spurs. Let's see if it's an attacking substitution. Xavi Simmons coming on, but it depends who's going off. Mark, much love, Director Brain here. Is the lighting meant to look a bit flat and desaturated lately? Just wondered. Content is fire. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about with the lighting and stuff looking flat. I think it looks really good, so I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm no camera guy or expert, so yeah, whatever rocks your boat. Tottenham only turn up for United, says Paula. Who's Simmons come on for? I didn't actually see. Let's go. I'm reading the chat here. There we are. Second half runs up. Danzo. So it is a more attacking substitute. Look, I agree with that substitution. Spurs have got to try and get on the front foot. Least favourite player in the league, says Simon. Probably Garnacho. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't wish him well because of the way he treated the United fans. So, yeah. I mean, it's not hate or anything like that. That's ridiculous. He's more of a pantomime villain. 3-0. It's 3-0 after 40 seconds. Ezzy's trying not to laugh. I mean, you nearly signed for Spurs, mate. Come on. And I know he got his dream move to Arsenal, but you did nearly sign for Spurs. 3-0. It's banter for Spurs. And this is a message of epic proportions, isn't it? Like, you can win a North London derby and you can absolutely abuse a North London derby. And Arsenal are showing no respect to Spurs here at all. Why would they? This could go down in history as an absolute battering. And also, not only that, these results get remembered as standalone results in a North London derby. They could pummel them, and it could be the same year that they win the league. So, this, look, imagine Man City doing this to United, Everton doing it to Liverpool, Sunderland doing it to Newcastle. That's what's happening here. This is a derby, people. This is a derby. And Spurs are 3-0 down after the first minute of the second half. It's a long second half as well. But this is the problem Thomas Frank was walking into. Like, the Spurs are the #1 light switch team in the world. They should be sponsored by N-Power. They are such on-off. And always have been. Because that mentality has been allowed to develop. Let's not try against Man City so they stop Arsenal winning the league. Oh, let's try today. Let's not try today. Let's try today. And that's why they're so bloody inconsistent. RB says, as an Arsenal fan, I've got to give Gabriel Heinze his credit. Genuinely believe he's doing something special behind the scenes and not just with the defence. Thank you very much. American Arsenal fan here. Had to contain my excitement while in church this morning. What do we think of Tottenham, Mark? Says Tyler. Pitiful, really. I think that, you know, David and Goliath is a passage in the Bible. And, you know, the reason it's a passage in the Bible is it's a lesson for life. The underdog can produce miracles against the favourite. I think Spurs' approach to this game, you're not the favourites. Of course Arsenal are the favourites. But this is a a white flag. You know, it's not an excuse. The whole approach has been abysmal. And, you know, you've got to feel for Spurs fans because this is a game that is huge for them in their season. And it's pitiful. I mean, they still haven't had a shot. Arsenal, Man United have lost titles with 12, 13 points leads as friends. Anyway, going back to RB, he said, thank you very much for the super chat, RB. He says, Arsenal fan have to give Gabriel Heinze his credit. Genuinely believe he's doing something special behind the scenes and not just with the defence, says RB. Thank you very much. Well, Tom, the worrying thing here is Trossard's in again. The worrying thing here is for Arsenal is that, for Spurs, is that he's made the change to be a little bit more expansive. And that means they've gone to a back four. It leaves them a little bit more open. So there could be more goals in this game. How did we draw with this lot, to be honest, says Mario Franco. Exactly. I know. Based on this performance, are they better when they were under Big Ange, says Simon. Well, they're not better under Big Ange, are they? He lost 22 games in the Premier League. I mean, God, I think I'd be better than Big Ange. It's not acceptable from Spurs, but yeah, it's not that bad. City lost to Spurs as well, didn't they? Yeah. Good point. Well made. Alex says, should Moreno stay up front permanently now? No. I don't think you know football, mate. I really don't think you know football. I think Spurs' issues are more about their crap defence. I think against Sunderland, you massively missed Gyökeres. And I think you'd be better with Gyökeres in this game. Moreno's done a good stopgap, but you need a proper striker. You need someone who, with the physicality, etc. Simmons has just gone in on Timber there. Free kick given. I think this Eze is going to be the difference this year. He's special, says Nicholas. Thank you very much. Thought Simmons got the ball there, to be honest, but there we go. Do you think Thomas Frank will last till Christmas? I think that. I think that with I think with Spurs it doesn't matter who the manager is. Good tackle by Moreno. See, Spurs are trying to be a little bit more open. They should... I mean, look, it could go wrong being like that, but you've got to try and give something... you have got to try and give something, haven't you? You can't just sit back and be 2-0 down and park the bus. Oh, wow! What a goal! What a goal! That is incredible. Richarlison, wow. Wow. I mean, I've got to watch this back. He's not in his own half, but I'll tell you what, he's caught Raya out. What a goal. What a goal. I mean, that could be the spark here for Spurs. I mean, he's literally won the ball off Zubamendi, hit it first time from about 45 yards out, and beat Raya, who's miles off his line because that's the way these modern goalkeepers play. But he's done him to perfection. Absolutely, that's a brilliant goal by Richarlison. You've got to say it is. Absolutely brilliant. So we're back to a 2-goal lead here, 3-1. Arsenal have conceded a goal. Hang that in the Louvre, that's a rarity. Maybe we're going to get a bit of a game here now. I feel like Spurs are at least playing it like a derby now. They're having a go. And that might be the spark, just to give them a little bit more belief at 3-1. Hi, Mark. I know this isn't United stand, but how do you feel about tomorrow for Man United, says Henry? Very, very confident, mate. Very, very confident. One shot, one goal, says the Swordsman. Digit says, I ordered the United Stand Christmas jumper and the Merry Cristiano jumper. Can't wait to get my hands on them. Have a nice Sunday, Mark, and the community. Thank you, Digit. Hope you have a great one as well. How would you rate Ronaldo's second spell? Was he the problem, says Anzi? No, I mean, I think getting 18 goals in that United side was miraculous, to be fair. I think, yeah. Well, you know what? This game could be rescued here. We've got 3 goals for Arsenal, a worldie for Spurs. The first half an hour was terrible. It's not been too bad there. Just going to be a consolation, says Nude. It could be more than that, you know. The game is opened up now. At least this is the sort of football you want to see, though. You want to see the game opening up. And you know, if Spurs could get one back. Uncle Wavy says, see Mark, first touch finishing, moving the ball quick. In fairness to Arsenal, I wouldn't even take it personally with you conceding. You think about Szoboszlai's goal, you think about Richarlison's goal. I mean, if you're conceding worldies, obviously no one wants to concede, but they are pretty fucking good goals, aren't they? And that Richarlison goal was special. And the good sign for Spurs is he didn't start crying. Spurs have just got to try and get a foothold in the game in the next 10 minutes. Create chances, make Arsenal think a little bit. Now, it's uncharted territory for Arsenal to have a little bit of pressure. But Trossard's done really well down the wing here. And well defended by Spence. Goal of the month sorted, says Gaz. James, the Arsenal fan, says, I didn't want to concede a shot. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Appreciate you. Please do subscribe to the channel. We've got Champions League week this week as well. We'll be doing Chelsea, Barcelona, and Well done, Vicario, there under pressure from Rice. And, oh, Arsenal Bayern on Wednesday. Can't wait. Good run by Udogie. Goes wide. Not a good cross. Headed away. Good tackle there. Spurs starting to fight for that. Another corner. Oh, goal kick. KJ says, I'm surprised Richarlison didn't take his top off. I mean, I don't for 1 minute suggest that Arsenal are going to give up a 3-goal lead at home. That's a great tackle by Spence. Ball stays in. Maddison is a big miss for Spurs, says Simon. You could make that case. I do think Maddison's a bit overrated, to be honest. Bit of a Poundland Cole Palmer, isn't he? I think Maddison's overrated. I've said that many times before. Abraham says this is why Raya won't be number 1 for Spain. I don't think you can blame Raya on that one. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Fine. I don't think you can blame Raya on that one. The modern goalkeeper plays outside of their box because they're part of the build-up. And in that situation, Arsenal shouldn't be losing the ball. And occasionally you do. But then there's still a hell of a lot for Richarlison to do. And he only misses, tipping it over the bar by a couple of inches. So I just think I don't think Raya's in a bad position. I think it's a fantastic finish by Richarlison. And sometimes, it's not anybody's fault. You could argue that Zubimendi losing the ball is a prat. But, people lose the ball. There's still a hell of a lot to be done there. Savage says it's not his fault, but it's still embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, goalkeepers are always going to be embarrassed by that. Arteta's getting a bit of trouble here. We have got an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand, yes. Sunday night. That was, to be honest, oh, Rice. Good cross. Again, Vicario following the trajectory of it. Arsenal still got it, this. Nkape wins a corner. The original show for the United Stand was 8 o'clock. We used to just do one show a week on an 8 o'clock. That was how it started. Spurs trying to play out from the back. Definitely a better game. Definitely better when a team tries to play a bit of football. Nice ball into Richarlison here. He's got runners. Goes wide. And if you're a Spurs fan, you'd be a lot happier with this in the second half. At least you're having a go. That's another shot on target there. They've just doubled it. We're talking about Casemiro at 8 o'clock, mate. I'm not really going to talk about it here because it's quite big. I don't think it's that big news anyway from Fabrizio. Man United would like to keep Casemiro on a reduced wage. It will never happen. When did you realise you could turn this sort of hobby into a career, says Scroggy? When I quit my job. 8 years ago, I think. Start, bench, sell, Suarez, Benzema, Lewandowski. Thank you very much. And full English or Sunday roast, says Henry. I do like a full English breakfast, but I think it'd have to be a Sunday roast, Henry. Have to be. Fancy Duck says, I'm going to Manchester for my birthday against West Ham. Wishes luck. I mean, mate, I know West Ham are doing well at the moment, but I think United at Old Trafford at the moment, we look really good. Another substitution here for Spurs. What has he got on? What's that all about? It must be Jaw. No, double substitution here for Spurs. Sarr and Mawani on for Bentancur and Odebear. Mawani's got like a... It's not a face mask like Osman. It's like underneath, like that. So it must be something to do with the jaw, but the lower jaw. We've seen people protect their jaw up here before with masks, but... Saka's in. Good defending. Udogie. He broke his jaw, says Jones. Start, bench, sell. Suarez, Benzema, Lewandowski, says Rex. I will start Lewandowski, I will bench Benzema, and I will sell Suarez. I don't care what people say. I don't like Suarez. I've got very good reasons to dislike Suarez. I don't like him. So it's as simple as that. I've got no respect for his footballing ability because I don't like him. End of the story. There's a lot of United fans who feel like that. You can argue with it all you bloody well like. I've got no interest in rating Luis Suarez because I don't rate Suarez as a person or a player. So he can do one. And you can tell me he's the best. You can tell he can be number one. But the great thing about opinion is you can't change mine or any other United fan. Simple as that. Arteta already acting like he's won the title, says King Millie. Mane or Saka, says Henry. It's a good. That is actually a good one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna throw that to the chat. I think that's actually quite close. Saka or Mane. But what I will say is, it's always very difficult to do either ors with current players and past players because, like anything, people always try psychologically to make out that they're living, the thing they're witnessing now is better than something in the past. I mean, somebody yesterday had the audacity to say that Doku's better than Giggs. Incredible. Nicholas says, Man United are trying the cheap option with Casemiro. Zidane says, when did you become surprised with the community you built and love from Glasgow and when you're coming down a year ago? I've never been to Scotland. I've been to lots of places in the world, but I've never been to Scotland, which is a bit embarrassing considering it's right next to England. So I do want to go. Surprised at the community every single day. Yeah. I think it's incredible what we've built. When you think that we've got live Bundesliga footage on a Friday night, you know, as a YouTube channel, I just think that's sensational. And there's a yellow card here for a foul on Moreno. think Van der Ven accidentally elbows him in the face. That sounds bad, but I think he's not even looking and he just seems to catch him like that. I don't think it was deliberate. Drub says, do you believe Man United could be in a title race by Christmas? Only if Santa delivers it in his sack. I think we're not in a title race, mate. I know stranger things have happened. I'm looking forward to that next week. But, yeah, I mean, I know Leicester won the league and all that jazz, but Man United shouldn't be anywhere near a league title. And look, just look at the league table as it stands at the moment, and there's your answer. To be in a title race, you've got to be near Arsenal. And we're even if we win tomorrow, we're 8 points behind them. We're not making up 8 points on Arsenal. And even if we did make 8 points upon Arsenal, you've then got to go past and beyond that. So, look, talk about a top 4 race if you want. Talk about top 5 if you want. But title race is bollocks. We've not been in a title race since we won it. Some people seem to think because we finished second twice, we're in a title race. You're not in a title race when you're 20-something points behind the team in the first place. We're not going to get anywhere near Arsenal. Maybe we could fight for second if everything went well, but we're not going to get anywhere near Arsenal, so we're not going to be in a title race. Mark, beef lasagna or mac and cheese? Always lasagna, Langford. Always lasagna. Dave the Rave says cookie dough or dildo. I'm normally better than that. I normally read them before I speak. Well, it depends what you want to do with it, doesn't it? Saka with a good shot. Vicario with one for the cameras. Double-handed, out for a corner. It's a good shot by Saka, but that's one for the cameras. He's not even really stretching for that. Just doesn't fancy. The reason keepers do that is not because they're doing it for the cameras. He doesn't trust himself to catch it. So he's getting there in plenty of time, palming it out for a corner. He's got 3 options. Catch it, palm it out for a corner, or, try and push it for a throw-in, which is risky. Corner to Arsenal. Wouldn't surprise me. That's gone for a goal kick. Jordan says, I'm trying to build what you did with basketball in the States. How many subs until you started going live for games? Fair play, mate. I mean, look, basketball, ice hockey... You're going to be busy. There's so many games. I mean, we might get 2 a week. How many games a week do you get for basketball? So, and they're long games as well, aren't they? So good luck with it, really. I don't really know anything about, a little bit about NFL, but that's a bit different. It's 1 game a week and it's a short season. But ice hockey, basketball, baseball, they're all loads of games, aren't they? So look, there's no reason why it wouldn't work. I would say to you, with the volume of games you've got, you could focus on match reactions first and see how they go, and then work up to it. What's your opinion on long throws? Says RJZ. You know what my opinions are on long throws. We've got another corner here for Arsenal. I hate them. I hate them. I mean, this is something Wimbledon and Stoke did, and we used to ridicule them. I'm not about to praise Man United, Arsenal, or anyone else for doing long throws. I think it's anti-football and shit. But if we score a hat-trick from them tomorrow, I will celebrate them, of course. I'm not, I'm not like stupid. If a goal's a goal, but I don't like it. Ooh. I mean, Vicario there was like the invisible man coming for that corner, and Arsenal nearly scored from it, but it ended up in his hands somehow. I think if you Spurs a game that was looking very, very, very bad, at least the Richarlison wonder goal has given them a little bit of character. I wouldn't say Arsenal have been pressured. 3-1 is better than where it was heading at 3-0 though. I don't see a comeback. Lovely play there. And he gets it wide. Nice play. That's got to be a cross. It's terrible. Terrible cross. Marcus says, do I think Spurs can draw this game? No. I think I'd love to see them get 1 more just to make it interesting, but no. Cheese on toast or a ploughman's? Oh, I can tell you what, I might have some cheese on toast tonight, Langford. There you go, there's your answer. I just wanted to have a look at the next few fixtures, actually. Obviously, Arsenal got Chelsea next week. That's going to be a very, very big game. I mean, for the good of the league, we could do with Chelsea getting a result next week. Because if Arsenal go and win at Chelsea, they've been to Anfield, they've been to Old Trafford, they've been to Newcastle, they'll have been to Stamford Bridge. The only big stadiums to go to will be Spurs and the Etihad. So this is the thing about Arsenal. They've played a lot of big games already as well. Man City at home to Leeds next Saturday at 3 o'clock. Spurs play Fulham at home. Chelsea. Oh, they're queuing up here. Eze. What a finish. What a hat trick. Let's just applaud that. A hat trick. A hat trick. A hat trick in a North London derby. Absolutely incredible. And, you know, what could have been a little bit respectable for Arsenal has actually not been respectful at all, has it? I mean, a Richarlison worldie is not going to cover any of the cracks here. There are cracks all over that Arsenal Spurs defence, and Arsenal have well and truly filled those cracks numerous times. Well, Eze's filled the crack 3 times, and he's still got more potentially to come in the next 15 minutes. And it's just easy for Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, the defence for Spurs is all over the place. Where is the defence there? It's incredible. What a performance in a North London derby, though. And it's an incredible performance from Arsenal. As he's just become a cult hero, says Cal. As he's into team of the week, definitely yes, yes, yeah. Well, I already had some good players considered for team of the week, and I'm going to pop Eze there. I'm struggling for a goalkeeper in team of the week so far. I'm thinking Vicario. Who's been the best player? Who's been the best goalkeeper in the Prem this week? That's why I was looking at results, actually. Results yesterday. The only clean sheets were Fulham, Palace, and Chelsea. But I don't know. I didn't watch any of them games, so I don't know whether any of those goalkeepers played well. I don't think you could give it to Chelsea because Burnley are shit. Maybe Leno, maybe Henderson. I don't know how busy they were. Oh, Forest, Sells had a clean sheet. I think it's got to be Sells, hasn't it, really? Madawaki's on for Trossard now. This could get embarrassing. Eze. Oh, big save for Vicario. That was nearly his 4th. I told you he might fill a few more cracks. But that's a big save by the... Oh, it's straight at him, to be fair. I think Eze knows he could have put that in the bottom corner. This could get embarrassing. This could get very... Well, it's already embarrassing, but it could get worse. Elliot Anderson or Stiller, who's everyone choosing, says none. And possibly already been mentioned, but it's possible Eze will be a more important signing than Gyökeres, says Alec Miller. But as an Arsenal fan, would you genuinely even rank your signings? Would it be something that motivates you? I mean, look, rival fans might do it, but if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't give a shit whether Ezzy's been a better signing than Gyökeres. I'd be very happy that I had Hincapié that can come in for Gabriel, Madueke who can come in for Saka, Mosquera that's been in for Saliba, Moreno that's there to come in for Gyökeres, Ezzy that's come in for Odegaard. You're a team, aren't you? And you can talk about individual accolades, but the Arsenal team at the moment and the injuries they've had, it's madness, really. Alan Sunderland in 78 was the last hat-trick, says Kenneth Tierney. Scary, they've still got Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, Madueke, Gabriel and Gyökeres to get on the pitch, says Neil. They've got an amazing squad. Verbruggen surely got goalkeeper of the week, saved a penalty, says not prepared. Madueke's back as well. The aura is mesmerising, says Rajaf. Bruno misses that shot Ezzy just made, says Maximus. Imagine trying to sign Ezzy only to be rejected, then he goes and bags a hat-trick on you, says Amim. I mean, it's just the life of being a Spurs fan, isn't it, really? I'm sure there was plenty of Spurs fans today that were thinking Ezzy's going to have a worldie. I don't think it will have come as a surprise to them. It's the sort of stuff that they get. Arsenal will fold after Christmas. Well, I wanted to just have a quick read of Arsenal's next few games. Obviously, they're 6 points clear at the top now. The Spurs end is virtually empty. Oh dear. But they've got I mean, look, Bayern Munich on Wednesday, be here. That watch-along is one I've been shouting about for ages. I can't wait for that game on Wednesday. I know it's not Premier League, but I think Bayern are the best team in Europe with Arsenal. So this is Arsenal have the advantage being at home, but I think it's going to be a great game to watch. They then go to Chelsea next Sunday at 4:30. We'll be here for that. Then they've got Brentford at home, where I think that's a win. Villa away on the 6th could be interesting. Then they play Wolves at home, which you think will be a win. 8 o'clock on a Saturday night as well. God, get that. Madueke, good tackle, goes for a corner. Everton away, and then they've got Boxing Day, Brighton, and then Villa again. So look, Arsenal have got a lot of home games coming up. If you want to talk about whether Arsenal might not win the league, I think you've got to start thinking who's going to beat them, who they're going to drop points against, because they're going to have to drop a few points. So Chelsea next week are going to have to get something, aren't they? Even if it's a draw. Do you think Ezzy can play one of those roles with Kane for England, says Ewan? Yeah, I mean, look, Ezzy's another one. Why can't Ezzy play behind Kane and run past him? Yeah, exactly. I think that's the sort of number 10 we need. You look at what Gnabry does for Bayern. You just, and as people have said, Jude Bellingham can do it. I just think Morgan Rogers is better at it at the moment, and it suits better. Anyway, corner for Arsenal here. But the quality options that Tuchel's got, it's madness, really. But you don't win you need to win a tournament. You need 11 players that play well together. You could have 30 of the best players in the world, but if they don't work together, it won't work. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with That's Football. We've got Champions League watch-alongs coming up for you this week. I will be doing a match reaction to this as well. And I'm on the United stand at 8 o'clock tonight. Some interesting news around Casemiro from Fabrizio Romano. We'll be talking about that as well. I went up into the loft today and got all the Christmas stuff down. I've not put it up yet, but it is all on the Hull landing, waiting to be sorted through. I suppose next weekend's the weekend, isn't it, really? It's only... I mean, look, there is no... I suppose they lost the first half 2-0. They've lost the second half 2-1. You could take that as some consolation. that it's slightly better, but there's not a lot. There's not a lot you can say from a Spurs point of view. The approach in the first half set the tone. And it's escalated from there. I think in the second half, they had a bit of a go. But as we've said before, the issue you have with Arsenal is that if you open up against them, they will play expansive football. And they will exploit the space. And that's why a lot of teams do park the bus against Arsenal. And that's why a lot of games against Arsenal are quite dull. Because teams do sit back and feel that that's their best chance is to try and scrape a win or get a draw. Because when you open up, they hurt you. Which is why I think the Bayern Munich game on Wednesday will be quite significant. Even though it's a Champions League game, if Bayern could come here and play well against Arsenal, then it might show teams how to play well against Arsenal. Of course, if Arsenal wipe their arse with them, it's another ominous message from a team that's looking very, very good this season. What's the points? What's the goals conceded record that Chelsea had? Was it 14? Arsenal have conceded 6 in 12. Here we are. Timber. No, good tackle by Van der Ven. It was 15 by Chelsea. Helps United we win. We're top 4, says Reverse Clouds. Who is better to watch, Hazard or Salah, says Henry. And off topic, but Elise is a baller. Oh, it's all going off a little bit here. Declan Rice, Richarlison. Is Elise is a baller. 5 goals and assists in 1 game. Oh, yeah, absolutely brilliant. We'll have all those on the highlight show this week from the Bundesliga. Chelsea are near them. We'll see you next week, says Nicholas. Well, he's going to get his cards out here. Didn't see what actually happened here, so it's going to be a yellow card. Yeah, Declan Rice tripped up Simmons. Had a bit of a word with him. Porro gave him a bit of a push. Richarlison gave him a bit of a push. Yeah, but Declan Rice seems about right. Hincapié comes off. There'll be no way back for Arsenal. There'll be no way back for Spurs. Sorry. Mascara comes on. Top 4 prediction, says MUFC Justin. Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. Probably in that order, but I still think it'll be those 4. When you look, obviously Liverpool are doing really badly. Man City have lost 4 games. You know, I don't really know what Chelsea are going to do this year, to be honest with you. But you look at their squads, you look at their expenditure, they should be getting top 4. It's not a hot take. They should get top 4. Obviously, I'm hoping United can do something about it. It would be remiss to say that Villa couldn't. I can't see Spurs anywhere near top 4. I don't think Spurs are massively better than they were last year. They had a very good start. But having seen their last 2 games from Spurs, I'll put my hands up. I hadn't seen a lot of Spurs this season. And I was looking at them in the league and I'm going, they're in the top 4. They're doing all right. They're doing all right. Thomas Frank's doing a great job. Having watched their last 2 games, I don't see a lot of difference from last season. They're still massively inconsistent. And when they're off it, they're shit. So Spurs won't be top 4. Villa, I think, could do it, but Europa League is surely going to be what they're interested in the second half of the season. Newcastle, again, could get in the race, but I think they don't have the squad. So I think I'll be playing FC again this week, IDK. I think United could be in the top 5 this year. Odegaard's not better than Eze, bench at best, says Matthew Soccer. I mean, what a great option to have. That's why we paid the dosh for Eze. He's a game changer and looks like he's finally clicking, says Mr. G. Spurs with a bit of a breakaway here. Xavi Simons has made a difference for Spurs. You've got to get him in the team as much as possible. Here's Saka. 4 minutes added on. Lovely look at that by Eze. I mean, he's wearing the number 10. It would be hard not to give him 10 out of 10 if we were doing player ratings. I think a hat-trick in a North London derby and overall a very good game as well. I mean, it's very rare to give a 10 out of 10, but I think you'd be pushed to not give him a 10 out of 10 in this game. Perfect. Are any of those players back for Arsenal on Wednesday night? Odegaard, Gyökeres, etc. Michael Bell says, I think Arsenal could have won by more. Keel says, we're getting top 4, clip it. I mean, it's not, look, I like the confidence. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I certainly don't think Spurs are a contender for top 5. Newcastle have got a lot of work to do. Brighton's, Bournemouth's, they're not going to do it. Villa will be preoccupied by the Europa League. Beyond Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City, I think 5th place is there. Lou Skelly's coming on. Calafiori comes off. What a bench, though. I mean, the bench of Arsenal is incredible. And you've got 4 or 5 good players injured as well to come back. Unpopular opinion, United will finish higher than Liverpool, says Druv. I don't think that's a hot take at all at the moment. I think there's a justifiable reason to say that, and that's probably why I have said it. But where's Ben White, says Dylan. I mean, he's just a bit part player now. Bit part Ben White, you know. Ben Shite. I mean, he's not shite, but can't get a look in because that's the depth of quality that Arsenal have. Lewis Skelly can't really get a look in. And I don't think Norgard was a terrible signing, but they've just got so much quality, Arsenal. They've basically built a super squad, haven't they? And it is a super squad. And as I said, there's winning a game and there's winning a game. And the way that they've won this, it's a huge statement. You know, this is a game where, I don't know whether Chelsea fans or Man City fans genuinely think they can get into a title race. But this reminds me a little bit of those Man City dominant years where you're sort of like, where are they going to lose games? Where are they going to drop points? This is a North London derby and they've won it 4-1. Like, this is the sort of game where you'd go, ooh, derby, anything could happen. Might be a point, might be a draw. No, they're going to win 4-1. How many world-class players would you say Arsenal have? I mean, I think world-class is always so subjective, isn't it? I don't actually like... I'm quite stringent with my world-class categorisation because I don't think there's 50 world-class players in the world. I think there should be 20. So how many players have Arsenal got in the top 20? I certainly think Gabriel has to be in there. I think he's incredible. Some people might say Saleba's in there. I think Saka's got to be in there. I think Declan Rice has got to be in there. So they've got 3 or 4. Is that the final whistle? It is the final whistle. Big hug from Arteta. Big statement from Arsenal. Big win for Arsenal. Embarrassing loss for Spurs. But ultimately, we've been gifted there a very, very interesting game. I think the first half an hour was quite dull because of how Spurs approached it. But as soon as they scored that very, very good goal, things changed massively. And that is a big, big win for Arsenal. I'm going to go and record a match reaction, everybody. I am back live with you on the United stand at 8 o'clock as well. If you want to join me for that, lots to discuss. I'll go and do a match reaction too. Solid ref today, didn't make it about himself, says this. Yeah, we didn't notice him. We didn't notice him at all, actually. Big week on the channel as well, so make sure you subscribe. We've got 2 fantastic Champions League watch-alongs coming on Tuesday, Wednesday night. Obviously, Man United Everton on the United stand tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching. Saka beat Mane 52% to 48%. Interesting. Speak to you all in a bit.